Cool. Looks like I'm live. It always takes a second. I always want to confirm. What up, everybody? This is Eric with the Where to Hunt podcast, and this is the W2H Rut Club Radio. If you're part of the W2H Rut Club Radio, Rut Club Facebook group, awesome. If you're not, no big deal. But if you want to call into the show, here I am, ready to take some calls. I'll be doing this until 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. So if you want to call into the show, the number is at the bottom of the screen. I think it's also in the comments or the title or whatever the heck it's called. Hopefully everybody can hear me and I'm not having weird audio problems. So if anybody is already tuned in, go ahead and give me a thumbs up in the comments section, or I can hear you or something. I don't have any way to test this stuff on that side. Yeah, looks like we got one viewer right now. So whoever you are, one viewer, go ahead and let me know if you can hear me or if it looks like I'm talking to, myself. I ended up getting out and hunting last weekend on Sunday in Wisconsin. It's our opener. It was our opener on Saturday, the 14th. Sounds good. Thanks, Scott. Appreciate it, buddy. Nice last name, by the way. I love it. I don't have an E at the end of mine, so you might be cooler than me. So I was out on Sunday evening, and I kicked up a doe about 10 yards in front of me in some tall grass, and that's all I saw. And I really went out just to, get my gear in use and do an observation sit. I didn't have any sort of high expectations of getting anything crazy. I just wanted to get out there, break in the gear, try out some new stuff that I got, make sure I could find everything, and just kind of put it through the runs there. And you'd be surprised, everybody, there were not that many mosquitoes. I think I got like one bite on my neck and on my face. And other than that, my thermocell seemed to do the trick pretty well. I also wasn't in I could have ventured into a much more swampy area, but I wanted to kind of get up on this hill where I could glass and just see what's moving where and when, and see if I can't pattern something for another sit. I had access to a conservancy property here in Wisconsin that I drew for and got accepted. I've hunted this property before, 2 years ago, the year my daughter was born, and I got a doe with my bow from the ground. It was just a little one, which was great for the drag out, and the meat tasted phenomenal. So that was pretty neat. And it was just a fun experience to get something on the ground like that. It was really cool. I thought some guys decided that, it wasn't cool for me to shoot such a small doe, but on the ground and kind of where I was in the moment, it didn't even occur to me that it was a little doe. I was a doe, earn a buck area. I don't know how they enforce it, but that particular property has earn a buck. I don't think they've mentioned it. What's up, Tonson? This year in the documentation I got in the mail. So, but that year it was specified that was the case. I'm a rule follower, so I follow the rules, and I thought, well, here's a doe. I'll shoot it, and then I can get the buck. I never did get the buck. Not on that property. But anyway, I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm just talking until someone calls in to report on some activity that they have. The line is open. The number to call in is on the screen in case, I don't know, maybe you're not seeing it. I'm not sure. But it's 262-757-4122. And then real quick, so far we've done 2 giveaways. We're going to do on every single show. If you look on the screen, if you can see, we're going to give away a heated hunt sent to Spencer. I've been practicing how to say that. And they have 2 colors. They have a green and an orange, so let us know. But I tried out one of these on Sunday as well. And no takers out of the gate, but the concept makes a lot of sense to me. So this will heat up. It's pretty straightforward. If you open this thing up here, it hangs like that. And then you can douse these little wicks that are in here, if you can see that on the screen. And this unit actually heats up itself. You can see the cord going to it. And so it'll actually heat up any scent that you have. It doesn't have to be theirs. I'd recommend it because they're sponsoring the show and I'm giving some of that stuff away, but you kind of get the idea. So it heats up the piss to a temperature that's actually natural to that animal. Looks like we got our first caller, so I'll shut up for a minute and bring him in. We got Kyle from Hudson, Wisconsin. What up, Kyle? You're live on the Where to Hunt Rut Club Radio. What's going on, bro?
What's up, E-Money?
Can you hear me all right? You good?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm. Got you loud and clear, man. And I think the 4 other folks watching on Facebook can hear you too. So thanks for calling, bud. How you doing?
Saturday was our bow opener, and man, it was awesome. That full moon kind of was a bit of a kicker. I didn't really know how things were going to pan out, but went out and sat and had a good amount of activity. So I was asked on a bunch, just seeing what was out there. Talk to you.
Oh, you're breaking up a little bit, bud.
Oh,
there we go. I think I got
give
you.
me 1 sec. Yeah, I get one little spot when I'm driving. My bad.
No worries.
Can you hear me?
Yep, we got you.
Alrighty. So, yeah, man, no mosquitoes. The Wisconsin bird was not out, so I, wasn't getting eaten alive. I know you were kind of shocked about that, but
I was
that
shocked
was
when I went out
fortunate.
on Sunday. I was super happy. I was expecting to be just angry and miserable about it, and I wasn't. So, yeah, it sounded like not too many people. I had messaged like Connor, Whitetail Drifter, and a couple other guys that were out, Tyler, and a few other buddies, my buddy Joel, and no one really reported back any major mosquito problems, which is rare this time of year, I think. So I'm pretty jacked about it.
Yeah, I mean, fortunately, I haven't even had to worry about a thermocell or anything. But
that's the best rut report we can do right now, given that we're ways out from the rut, obviously. But like, hey guys, it's safe to go to the woods. The mosquitoes aren't bad.
Yeah, for sure. And then so Sunday I had a game plan. I was like, all right, saw a good amount of does. Figured I'd go take one, and then that heat wave came and just totally shut down everything.
Oh, so you went back out and then it was dead, huh?
Yeah, I went back out Sunday. Went out Sunday morning, got out a little bit earlier because I kind of had a run in with a buck Saturday morning, and fortunately I stopped in my tracks and my scent game was good enough. He came up 5 yards from me and just walked right across from me. Didn't even spook him or anything. So that was pretty crazy, man. Yeah.
You had some stories on Instagram I saw that were pretty cool to see that level of activity.
Yeah, and then Sunday it just shut down, and it got warm. I mean, it was 10 degrees warmer from than it was Saturday when I went to go sit out, and aside from that, I mean, with that full moon, it was still kind of out, so I figured it just, shut down. But I mean, it was nice to see the activity, for the start of the year, and hopefully it just brings more closer to the rut here.
Yeah, I mean, it's just good to get out. Like I was saying, when I was just kind of getting on here, that I just wanted to put my gear, through the ringer and get it tested out and just make sure everything's working the way that it should. And, I was pretty pleased with just kind of getting out there. I was happy to be out. I mean, it's been, almost a whole year, really, and it's exciting to just have that opportunity.
Yeah, for sure. And, like you said, I mean, fortunately, I was spring turkey hunting, so I was able to use most of my gear, so everything was kind of just ready to go, and I pulled it out, and, I mean, yeah, I just had to worry more about my scent game for this than turkey. I mean, turkey, you can just walk out in a swimsuit damn near and just go take something, so.
Well, there wasn't, dude, that's funny. There wasn't much wind either, like when I went out on Sunday, to worry about at all. I mean, there was practically nothing. I was like trying to figure out, okay, where do I need to enter? Where are the beds? I kind of know the area a little bit. I could probably know it better, but there wasn't any real concern for that. And it, you sweating like a freaking Sasquatch out there too. It was pretty miserable until I sat down for a while.
Yeah, I did the same thing, man. I kind of where my stand is at a pinch point, so I got to be real careful with where I'm gonna walk in and everything. So I took that all kind of in consideration of, where I was going to approach. And then, yeah, like you said, it was dead. There was no wind. So, sat in my stand. And, I mean, it took about 2-3 hours before I even got a breeze. But on that note of things, I mean, it was just the kind of thing where I definitely just had to watch all the way around me and everything. But, I mean, even Saturday when I sat, I had a group of 3-4 does that were downwind of me, and they didn't even get spooked or anything, so that was definitely a cool thing.
Yeah, so like that's super cool. So are you going, what are some of your goals for the season, and when are you going out next?
So I work Monday through Friday. I work Monday through Thursday. So Friday, I think I'm going to try to get out depending on how the weather is. The goals just moved. We bought our house in February, so we got 5 acres, and we bought up against 50 acres. So new property, new animals, and everything like that. So the goals are to try to hit something pretty decent. Trail cam has showed 2 spikes, couple 6-pointers, and an 8-pointer. But from the farms around the area, I've seen there's at least a couple 10-pointers. So just hoping during rut they're gonna sprint through the yard and everything like that. So I don't really have anything super crazy. It's something big enough that walks by, and sparks my interest. But I definitely don't want to take my first one that walks by and be kind of upset.
Yeah, when it's that early in the season, if you've been at it for a number of years, it might take a little bit more to get you to draw back. There's some guys that are gonna be like,
yeah,
fuck yeah, I can't wait, which is great, cheers to those guys and everybody.
Yeah, we got I got 1 antler tag, but then where I'm at, I actually have 5 antlerless tags. So, I can get plenty of meat in the freezer with that. But I definitely want to, like I said, where I'm at, I definitely want to try doing more of a deer management and everything like that, and try to watch the herd and see what's going on and everything like that. And then where I'm at, so our property butts up to 94. So on the north side of 94, there's a public, about 254 acres is up there. So I swung up there to see, and I've kind of just been mapping it out on Google Maps and stuff like that. And you can definitely see where their trails are and pinch points and stuff like that. So I think I might go take a pop-up blind and go jump up there and see if I can see anything. I've seen them from my house. I can see over the freeway and everything like that, and I can see a couple of them. But I just don't know if they're getting pushed from where I'm at over the freeway or if they're up there. But there's a couple ponds up there and everything like that. So it's definitely good land for them to be in. There's really no houses around too close. So hoping I can go run up there, and if I take a mature doe off of there, I'll definitely be happy.
That's great, man. Well, we'll stay tuned and follow along with your season. Share stuff with the page. If you're not in the W2H Rut Club, go ahead and jump in there too. And we're gonna let you go for now to bring on the next caller to keep rolling with the show. But dude,
right on.
Thanks for calling in and supporting, man. I appreciate it. And now you're entered in to win a heated hunt, heated scent dispenser. So stand by. We'll put you in the drawing.
Sweet. All right. Alrighty. Thanks, E-Money.
Yeah,
take it easy,
man. Bye. All right, so next on the line, looks like we got Sean out of Oconomowoc. What's up, Sean?
What's going on, man? How's it going?
It's good. Thanks for calling into the Rut Club Radio. You've been seeing some deer? Been out yet?
Well, I was out Saturday morning and was trying to sneak through a field of pretty much chest-high weeds. And 18 minutes into legal shooting time, I did not spot the 6-pointer. The 6-pointer spotted me taking a leak on a tree.
That's right. We had messaged back and forth about that a little bit.
Yeah, it was one of those of, I started going, and then I heard thump, and I looked over my shoulder, and he took 2 big bounds and disappeared into the woods.
Damn it.
And, that was my first thought, was damn it. But then I'm like, well, that's fine. I'll just continue on with my plan of working the rest of the way through the field of weeds to work myself around to the leeward side of the hill and try to work my way back up that way. And I ended up finding more bad things than good things.
So you ruled some things out then?
Well, no, it was more like I found a permanent stand, which is not permitted on that property, but it was also, I was about 50 feet off of private property. So I think somebody was trying to sneak one in there.
Yeah.
And then about 9:30, somebody flew a drone over the property and it was low enough that I couldn't see it, but by the sound I could tell exactly where it was. So that was kind of annoying because I'm sure they spooked the deer. And then about 12,
just someone recreating, but maybe not, you know.
Right. Well, then around 1:00 in the afternoon, somebody went through the main trail on that property on an ATV, and I was like, "Wait a minute! I thought you couldn't have motorized vehicles on this property." So, and about that point, with all the extra noise, and I'd run out of water, I ended up calling it quits for the day. But I didn't. I found a bunch of trails. And in Onyx, I marked the trail that buck had disappeared on.
Okay. So
and I kind of crept up that way a little bit, trying to, be like, okay, you know, that's where I saw that guy, so maybe he'll be there next time I go out there. But then again, maybe not. I don't know exactly how much pressure that property gets. I did see a truck parked on the south side of that property when I was leaving, but that was the only other vehicle I saw. So.
And were you hunting in Oconomowoc? And it was public land, obviously?
Yeah, it's the Ashippun River Greenway up across Highway 67 from the Ewald soccer fields.
Yeah, I've hunted the Ashippun River Greenway over by the Ashippun River in that parking lot. And I've also gone up the river from some other part of town. I forget what the heck it's called. And I've definitely seen a number of deer out that way. So and I've heard of guys taking some big ones out there too, not to give any secrets away, but it's public land. You know, you got to know where to go on there. But it's a great little property that's not far. You know, I'm right in the same area. So I really enjoy being able to get out there.
Yeah.
I scouted it with my dog one year, in the spring, and he loved just running around out there looking for sheds with me. So it's cool. It's a cool spot.
Nice. Yeah, it is nice, and I know in previous years I found quite a bit of sign. The other part of the greenway that's like separate, it's on the west side of 67, is a lot smaller, and it's mostly marsh.
Mm-hmm.
But because the soil is pretty wet all the time, you can just see deer tracks just everywhere if you can fight your way through the thick brush.
Yep. No, that's cool, man. That's good. So are you going to go out again this weekend, or when's your next plan of attack?
I don't know if it's going to be this weekend. Hopefully for sure. Well, no, the weekend after we're camping, so it'd probably be 3 weeks. But it all depends on family stuff too. So
yeah, yep.
I'm hoping. I'm keeping my fingers crossed.
Family first, but then deer hunting. Maybe coffee and then deer hunting.
Right? Yes. Coffee, backwoods grind.
Yeah. Are you drinking backwoods grind?
Yeah, we just got an order in the other day.
Great. That's
good
awesome
stuff.
Well, in addition,
we took a sampler pack on a family camping trip, and everybody loved it.
That's awesome. It really does have some real grit to it. I don't know that I'm able to describe that verbally, but for those that have tried it, maybe that makes more sense now. That's what I'm drinking.
Right. Nice.
Well, Sean, thanks for calling in, dude. You're gonna get entered into a drawing to win a heated hunt, heated scent dispenser. So you can add that to your arsenal for some of the gear that you got this season. What I'll do is you may or may not win, obviously, based on the number of callers come in. But as it stands at the minute, you're one of two callers, so you got a 50-50 chance of winning. That could change as the show continues on for the next 10 minutes. But thanks for calling in, man.
Nice.
Appreciate it a whole bunch.
All right. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, good luck this season, bud.
All right. Thanks, you too.
Bye.
Bye.
So a couple calls. Folks are seeing deer here in Wisconsin. I don't know about elsewhere, but out of those two guys and myself, we all saw deer. One of us will taking a piss. I kicked one up on the way in tall grass, chest high, bow up in the air, and all of a sudden Doe just comes, up out of her bed and bound. And I was actually headed right towards her bed and didn't even know it, which is funny because had I paid more attention, I didn't need to go through that tall grass at all. There was actually a really nice clean cut trail that I could have taken. But leave it to me to, make things difficult. Classic. But, I don't know if that doe would have jumped or not if I was on the clean cut trail. So that was interesting to know that that's where she was bedding. It was in a spot that I wouldn't have thought there'd be any deer, to be quite honest. It was at the really kind of beginning of a property that most people use that nice trail to walk deeper into. So she was hanging out right towards the front of the property where people are accessing it, and I've heard a lot of folks talk about that kind of stuff, that, they're a lot closer to the parking lot than you think. So that's something to consider when you're going out to spots. If you see everybody going out, pay attention. There was one other hunter on the property I was at. I was sure hoping they were using my app, the Where to Hunt app, so I could see where they were so I could avoid them. I was so conscious of looking up for tree stands because I was convinced I was going to bump into them, and I didn't want to. I wanted to have my own hunt without them. So not everyone has it yet, folks, but it is free to use, and it does help alleviate that public land pressure. So not so much of a shameless plug. I think it really could add value to your hunt. Hopefully the bad actors don't take your spot. That's not the intention, although I've heard of that happening. So F those guys for doing that kind of crap. That's BS. But you're going to have that with anything. There's always going to be the bad actors that, ruin things for the rest of us. We got about 9 minutes or so. If anybody has some free time to step away from the kids, or if they're in the car or whatever it is you're doing at work and you want to hop on and report some activity, that'd be great. You'll be entered into winning. You'll be entered into winning a heated scent dispenser. So I would love to have you guys call into the show, or maybe tag a buddy that might want to call in if you've heard some activity there. Certainly been seeing enough on social media out of the gate of folks getting deer with, some velvet, or maybe it's already been off, but you see that stuff, and suddenly you get this kind of sinking feeling like, I need to be out at all times. I need to be out there. I can't be on the couch or at work. I need to be hunting. They got a deer. I'm missing my chance. There's, and that's how I feel anyways. So it's fun to get these folks calling into the show. And then we'll be live again. So I'll close this segment down. At 6:30. So in about 8 minutes, and then we'll go live again at 7. So stand by for that if you want to tune back in. For some reason, I always seem to run out of breath when I'm doing this. So we're just screening one other caller here. So it looks like we do have someone coming in. Just stand by. We got someone out of New York. Who do we have? You're live on the Where to Hunt Rut Club Radio. Who do we got on the line? Where are you calling from?
Hey, what's up? It's Kevin Dye, Bath, New York.
What up, Kevin? How you been, man?
Not bad. We don't start our archery season until October 1st, but
holy crap!
I went out scouting. Yeah, I went out scouting last week with a buddy, and we found some fresh rubs. And there's a ton of acorns falling right now, so the food sources are starting to change for the deer. They're probably going to start moving off of the hay fields and stuff.
That's awesome, dude. So, and they're like, everything I hear from everybody, and I've been hearing this since I was a kid from my dad, is acorns, 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 acorns. And that's a really good sign. Do you think they'll still be dropping fresh acorns come October 1st, or they'll at that point have moved on to something different?
No, I imagine there's a ton of acorns on the trees this year, so I imagine they'll still be dropping. But a lot of our ag around here is mostly cornfields. We don't have a lot of soybeans and stuff like that, so they don't really. I think they use the corn to travel through because nobody can see them in the corn, unless they get on the edges.
Right.
But then I don't think it gets grazed on or browsed on as heavy until the acorns are not in the apple trees and stuff like that, or when they cut the cornfields, the fields are loaded. But
yeah, absolutely. It's interesting because I'm doing all these heated hunt giveaways, and one of the scents that they have is sweet corn. They have it as a cover scent. So if you're hunting near a cornfield edge or something like that, you could totally use that and you blend right in, right? I think that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Like you think everyone just thinks dirt for cover scent, and there's like all these other options. But make sure you put a comment in the comments, Kevin, so I know how to find you for the drawing, so I can let you know if you win or not, because you're going to be drawn to win a heated scent dispenser. Now I'm goofing it up. Classic. But so you got to be just jacked, dude. October 1st is right around the corner, right? It feels far away, but it's also like right there.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like it's so close. We've waited so long, and it's so close. But like all these other states are opening up. I know Connecticut opened up. D-Rock, he shot a doe, I think yesterday actually, or the day. That might have been yesterday. Yeah, and then
with the Zeus.
Yeah, and then yeah, and then out west, like North Dakota and stuff like that, the Tag and Brag guys, you see their videos, and like, oh man.
Yep. Like, you fuckers.
October can't come soon enough.
Yeah. It's like everyone. It's like you're at a starting line in a race, and everyone else is running before you, and you have to wait, and you're like, no, they've already lapped me. This is bullshit.
That describes hunting in New York pretty well.
That's funny, man. What's the temperature like over in New York for you guys right now?
We're getting down pretty low at night, like down into the 40s, I think, and like low 50s. And then during the day, I think today it was up mid 70s or something like that.
Okay, so not too dissimilar from where we're at here. It's still muggy, which sucks, but we're looking at 80 for the next week about. So it's super hot.
Still there?
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't get the humidity not that bad. We get like spurts of it, but for the most part it's not very humid around here.
Lucky, man. You're lucky out there. Well, I guess I got about 3 minutes, and what's your goal for the season? Do you have any target bucks or anything specific you're trying to do?
Yeah, I started a little hunting thing, me and a couple buddies, Hidden Holler Outdoors. I'm going to really dedicate to self-filming this year, try and lay down some good footage, get a couple kills on camera. And then I'm going to be hunting a kind of a transition between public land and private land. My grandfather has a really small piece. I actually talked to you when you had D-Rock on.
Yeah, okay.
And we talked about hunting my grandpa's land.
That's right. Thanks, dude.
So
for the refresher.
Yeah, I've got one. Yeah, I've got one decent 3.5-year-old. He's missing. He's only got one brow tie, but he's probably going to go in like 130s, right around that Pope and Young. But other than that, I'd be happy with getting anything decent, really.
That's most of us, man.
I haven't shot a buck in 4 years.
I wish you luck this season.
Yeah.
If you're not already part of the W2H Rut Club, join that, and make sure to share some of your content there so we can all kind of follow along. And I'll do the drawing tomorrow night, so stand by for that to see if you win.
All right, cool. Thanks, man. Cool.
Thanks for tuning in. I'll be going live again in about 30 minutes, so if you want to jump back on, we're going to be talking to T&K Hunting Gear, so that should be we're taking the filter off for that one.
Oh, yeah.
Stand
Some
by.
F-bombs will be dropped.
Yep, you bet, man. Well, thanks for calling into the show. I appreciate it a whole bunch. Have a good night, man.
All right, man. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, folks, that's it for the Rut Club Radio segment. I know it's short, but short and sweet is good. I'm okay with that. Trevor, what up? Thanks for popping in here. You guys in your 100th episode. It was fun talking with y'all last night with the East Coast. So Kyle, Sean, Kevin, stand by. I'll do the announcement tomorrow night. I'll do it live on Instagram, and then I'll share that out to Facebook. So you'll know if you won tomorrow night. I'll if I have your information, I'll tag you. But otherwise, just stay tuned for that, and I'll try to find a way to reach out to you guys. But everybody, thanks for calling in. I'm going to switch gears here. We'll see you back in about 30 minutes. Got to go fill up my scotch.